Hello there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Histon. And coming up in today's video we have got an FA Trophy second round match against FC Halifax Town and possibly a home match against Boreham Wood, the team that is just behind us in the league. But before we get into those two games, let's take you through what's been happening since you were last with us, which was the last FA Trophy match against Oxford City, which we won 2-0. We followed that up with a fantastic 3-1 victory away against Bishop Auckland at the time, who at the time were top of the league. So I wasn't expecting us to get any sort of positive result out of this, but the team surprised me, which is absolutely fantastic. Bishop Auckland, as you can see, had more shots and one more shot on target than us, but we had more possession and we took our chances when they came to us. James Difford with one goal and Mbunga scoring twice for James Lover. Pulled one back for Bishop Auckland, but that wasn't enough to inspire a fight back for the home team, and we came away with a fantastic victory, which was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, though, we kind of fell back down to earth with a bang after that fantastic victory with a 2-1 home defeat against Darlington 1883, who at the time were in the relegation zone. So really poor performance in comparison compared to what we in comparison to the last game. Mikko Virtanen, the Darlington Finnish striker, scoring twice. Alex Simmons managed to get his first goal for the club, which was kind of something, but we just didn't perform well. We had more possession than them, but we only managed 8 shots and 2 on target compared to that's a lot. That was less than what we managed away from home against Bishop Auckland, which was really frustrating. And yeah, unfortunately, I would have kind of preferred those results to be reversed, and that would have kind of taken that. But the fact that we'd beaten Bishop Auckland and then lost to Darlington, it's kind of felt a little bit more disappointing that the results are that way around rather than a loss there and a win there. But anyways, we then followed that with another 2-1 defeat, this time away against Tamworth. Simmons also scored in this game, so that was 2 goals in 2 games. Unfortunately, though, we weren't able to score more than one based off despite having more chances again, or more shots on target than Tamworth away from home. Howstrup and Longbottom scoring for both goals for Tamworth in what would be their 2 shots on target. So it's one of those classic FM games where you end up losing because of 2 shots on target. But oh well, one of those things, I guess. And we did bounce back from that away defeat with an away victory, this time away against Kidderminster to start 2021, which was absolutely amazing. James Difford scoring 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. He's now back in the score sheet, the scoring charts, which is fantastic. George Burns getting a man of the match as well, which was had a really impressive performance. It actually attracted a bit of attention from Salford City, who are just ahead of us in the league. He provided actually one of the assists for one of James Difford's goals, which was fantastic to see. It was more of a long ball over the top to Difford, but still a nice ball, still a nice pass made by that player to put Difford in front. Difford through on goal, and therefore he was able to score. And then finally, the last game before we end up playing the FC Halifax game was a 2-0 victory at home against Southport. James Difford scoring his 3rd goal in 2 games, which was fantastic. And Justin May scored his first goal of the season. So it's been a while coming since the Justin May scored, which was it was fantastic for him to see, considering that the fact that he is the last remaining original player in this squad since all the way back since season 1, and he's closing in on the appearance record, I think. Or I'm not sure if he's passed it or not, but one of the two. He's either closing in or he's just about to pass the appearance record. So I hope he does that very soon, maybe in the next game. We'll have to wait and see on that front. I'll probably get a notification in the inbox if that happens. But in terms of what those results have done to the league, here is the league table as follows. We are currently sitting in 4th place, 3 points behind 3rd place Boston United and 6 points off the top of the league. Apparently we've got the same goal difference as Salford City, which is quite interesting, but that's not the best goal difference. Boston United have got the best goal difference with advantage of 6 goals, and we are 4 points clear of Boreham Wood in 5th, and 7 clear of Stalybridge, who have played 1 game more than us, which is absolutely crucial, because I want to make sure we consolidate our playoff spot, because I doubt we're going to have a strong enough challenge for us to take on the likes of Salford, Bishop Auckland and Boston United, despite us beating Bishop Auckland off camera. So the fact that we did lose to Boston and Salford on camera, which was one of the reasons why I don't think we're going to have a big challenge for the league title. But we'll have to wait and see. It's 25 games into the season. We've still got just under half the number of games to go remaining in the rest of the season. It's 42 game season, so we've got 17 games left or something like that. So there's plenty of points still on the table right there. But enough to talk about the league. Let's get on with the FA Trophy match away against FC Halifax, who are currently sitting in the Vanarama National League. I'll just have a quick look and see where they are. They're currently sitting in 19th, so it's not been a very good time for the FC Halifax club. They're just 2 points above the relegation zone, so they're going to have some. They will want to get out of their little ruts and put themselves, give their fans something to cheer about with a decent cup run, and possibly that will allow them to get some momentum and steer away from that relegation zone. Whilst we're doing well in the division below, and want to try and see if we can cause a cup set. So it should be a really entertaining game here. Anyways, let's go. Here's the team that we're going to go for today. Schofield is in goal with Osler, Lovell, Burns at centre back pairing with Gregory at left back, Kuyar and Harris in the midfield with Joel, May, Difford and Mbunga up front. So and then on the bench we've got Reece Bills, Taylor McKenzie, Alfie Davidson, Adrian Morford and Alex Simmons. So without further ado, let us get into the match. I focus on defensive position today primarily because we kind of want to make sure we don't. I kind of want to get out this time either with a replay or if we can get a sneaky 1-0 win here or there. Apparently we've been made favourites, but I am not going to take that too seriously though, because the fact that they're the division above, so we've got to take that into account, and we've just got to do our homework, etc. So let's get into the match today. Let's do some opposition instructions. Oops, wrong player. Don't think I recognise any of the Halifax players on their team, but doesn't mean to say that they're good. So we'll have to see what happens. Let's go for that in terms of a team talk. Okay, only 2 players look to be motivated, but let's see if we can get some team or positional team talks going here, and that's it's gone well for the defence, not so much for the midfield, and then for the strikers, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's get into the game here today. I'm hoping this will either be one of 2 games we end up playing against FC Halifax, because I think if we end up drawing this match, the replay then goes into the spot where the Boreham Wood match is. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in this match today before we decide what game comes up next. Okay, we've got a goal kick taken by the Halifax goalkeeper up towards Khan. Here's Penniket. Back to Chatfield to Lynch on this left-hand side, number 18 for FC Halifax. Back to Lynch here after a little exchange with number 13. Here's Penniket. Takes a shot. That's a pretty good goal by Penniket. It's his 5th goal of the season. Scoring just outside the box there. And we are unfortunately 1-0 down off their first shot of the game and their first shot on target. Okay, here is the highlight. It was a nice little 1-2 from Lynch and Chatfield. And here's Shaibu to Penniket. It takes a shot just outside the D. And it's a rocket straight past Reece Bills. I think... Oh, not Reece Bills, Ryan Schofield. But we've got an instant highlight here on this right-hand side from a throw-in from Osler. Here's Harris, up to Joel, into Difford, who was just inside the box there, but wasn't able to make get a shot away. Joel to Difford, back to Harris, to May, onto the left, possibly to Gregory, but unfortunately not. May takes it inside, back to Harris. Gregory on this left-hand side is free. Should have taken past it first, hit it first time, but it doesn't matter. Mbugga has put it in, and it's 1-1 in the space of 12.5 minutes. An instant response from the team. Really well worked in the end. I thought the chance had gone after Gregory took it an extra touch, but he'd managed to pick out Mbunga, who peeled off his man and finished his first time past the Halifax keeper, and it's now 1-1. Okay, we've got a free kick just inside our own half here. Gregory on this left-hand side, trying to get past the number 6 up, passes it to May, to Harris, back to Kuyar in this centre of the park. Here's Mbunga, back to Harris, to Kuyar again. Back to Mbunga, he might pass it into Difford, he has done, and Difford hits the shot just wide of the mark. That apparently went down as a clear-cut chance, which was interesting considering the fact that the chance I thought that Mbunga had, which he scored, was more of a clear-cut chance than that. But here's another highlight with we've now got Harris on the ball, turning away towards goal. He might play it all the way back to the keeper here, which is a bit frustrating, but we're just going to have to make do with that. Schofield kicks it up towards May, but it's well won back by Wright, who's knocked it only as far as McGregory, who plays it back to May, who's got the ball again. Closed down by 2 players. Nice ball to Kuyar, though, with a nice little bit of space for the midfielder. Joel plays it into Difford, might play Mbunga in again, and O'Flaherty's made the save, and that is clear-cut chance number 2. I would definitely say that was a clear-cut chance, and Mbunga wasn't able to add to the 1 goal he has already got today, and it's still 1-1, 30 minutes on the clock. Okay, now it is half-time. It is 1-1 in the game, and based off this, I think we were kind of disappointed not to be ahead in this match. based off the stats. So if let's see if we can try and motivate the team before they come out for half time. Only one player is looking happy so far, and another player after a positional team talk. This team talk's not going too well, which is not great. But the two strikers are motivated, which is fantastic, or looking delighted rather than motivated. So let's hope that ensures that they do score a second goal. George Bird's not having the greatest of games at 6.4, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as the second half goes. Let's see if we can get possibly a last-minute winner and advance into the next round of the FA Trophy. As our FA Cup run unfortunately ended quite prematurely for us, if you guys remember back in November time in this game, as George Burns commits a foul on Penniket. That's probably going to be the end of the highlight. Yes, it is. Okay, we've got a highlight from a throw-in for FC Halifax. Khan plays it up towards Shaibu, who's got a little bit of space here. Might finish it past Schofield, but Schofield makes a brilliant save. And that is clear-cut chance number 1 from FC Halifax. They really should have scored that after it was a bit of poor defending and, I don't know, we weren't switched on there. And the resulting corner has missed everybody. And here's Darling, the centre-back, I think, for Halifax, but he was unable to find someone, and that went straight into the keeper's hands. Okay, we've now got a corner. Harris plays it into May. Lovell's there, and it's 2-1 Histon here with 27 minutes to go. Shane Lovell with his second goal of the season. Really nicely worked corner, and finally we get the second goal after peppering the Halifax goal based off the stats right there. 15 shots, 8 on target, and Lovell's there ahead of his man and finishes it into the right-hand corner of the net, and it's now 2-1. Matchgoal's going to make a substitution now because George Burns is not having the greatest of games and his conditioning is down at 73%. So I'm going to bring on Taylor McKenzie for 25 minutes, see if we can shore up the back four a little bit. And then I'll also might take off Callum Harris as well because he's also struggling a little bit with fitness. So I'm going to bring on Alfie Davidson for Callum Harris. So 2 changes at the 66th minute mark. Okay, we've got action in the midfield. McKenzie's intercepted the ball and hit up towards Mbunga, but it's cleared away. Joel, here's Difford, takes a shot, and it's 3-1. That's James Difford's 4th goal in 3 games, 16th goal of the season. It looks as if we might be on our way to winning this match and causing the, quote, cup sets here. It was a poor-headed clearance by Dugdale, and Joel hits it past it first time to Difford, who turns and finishes it past the keeper's near post. Probably could have done better with the keeper probably could have done better with that, but I'm not complaining. It is now 3-1. Okay, goal kick from the Halifax goalkeeper up towards Khan. Gregory wins it back, though. Here's Pallardo back to Khan. It probably is going to be a highlight for, I think, for Halifax, but it looks as I thought Davidson had managed to win the ball off the midfielder, but here's Khan on the right side. Plays it in towards Denton, and it's 3-2 with just 7 minutes to play. Tom Denton with his 2nd goal of the season. That player, I think that name does ring a bell. I don't recall though what team he used to play for, or if he actually still plays for FC Halifax. Please let me know in the comments, or I might actually look it up off camera. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that is now 3-2. It's a little bit more nervy though. Kuyar with a free kick, and here's McKenzie. Please do not give it away here because our defensives have pushed forward for some reason. Difford's managed to win it off a knockdown, and O'Flaherty has managed to save Halifax's bacon there with just 5 or 6 minutes remaining. Kuyar with the resulting corner, and Johnson clears away for FC Halifax. And that's probably going to be the end of the highlight with 5 minutes remaining. Oh no, we have an instant highlight straight off the throw-in. Davidson throws it out to Kuyar. Please make it sure we get a 4th goal. But no, it looks like Halifax is going to be catches on the break here. Here's Denton on the left-hand side. Please prevent that cross from going into the box. Lovell with a nice tackle there. Really, really well. But we've just cleared it and given it straight back to them. Come on, guys, what are we doing? Anyways, we've now got the end of the highlight, but we've got another one that's popped up immediately. It's end-to-end stuff here. I was about to make a substitution, but Gregory now plays a ball up towards Difford, who tries to get on the end, and he has done, but he couldn't control the chance, and O'Flaherty manages to make the save for FC Halifax, and it's cleared away, and that's the end of the highlight. Let's make our final substitution now, because I was wanting to make a substitution for a good while, and I was getting really nervous as to whether the game would give us another goal or we end up conceding an equaliser. So let's bring on Adrian Morford for 1 minute or so because Sam Joel has had a really good game at 7.7, but I kind of want to get some freshness in that midfield. Give the ball to Adrian Morford and he can run it down the wing and waste time. I'm going to actually also switch to counter with just a minute and a half or so remaining. Right, we're coming up to 4 or 5 seconds remaining. O'Flaherty's probably going to take the goal kick in. probably that's going to be the end of the game. No, it isn't. But yes, it is now. We have managed to get the victory. An absolutely dominant display based off the stats. 24 shots, 14 on target. And it only ended up in a 3-2 victory, which was a bit disappointing on the defensive side of the ball. But I'll take the victory, considering the fact that it is against a team in the higher division. So we've advanced now in the into the third round of the FA Trophy. I'm going to now cut away until with the FA Trophy third round draw, and then we'll do the Boreham Wood game next. Okay, we are here for the draw of the FA Trophy third round. Let's see who we end up playing in the last 16, I think it is, because of the fact there's 18 teams left to draw for 8 ties. So yes, I think it is for the last 16. So without further ado, let us get on with an automatic draw, and let's see where we end up in this draw. Dulwich Hamlet, who are in the National League, will play Tunbridge, who are in National League South. We've been drawn out third, and we're up against Tranmere or Bishop Stortford. So either a team in the division above or a team in the same division as us, or that we've already beaten this season. So I'll take that. It's a really good tie for us, I think, because of the fact that we're at home. And the fact that we're at home, and then that gives us an advantage possibly over Tranmere, who are a former Football League club, if you guys remember, back in the only a couple of years ago in real life. But in this FM save, I think they've yet to get promotion back into the Football League. But we have to wait and see on that. Let's have a quick look at Tamworth just to see where they are right now. And yeah, as you can see, they haven't really had the best of times since they've dropped out of the Football League, and they have really been kind of dropping down towards the bottom. Although they're currently sitting in third right now in the National League, so having an opportunity, they're looking to try and get back up into the Football League. So could be an interesting match. They end up getting through against Bishop Stortford. Okay, we are back for the second game of this episode. I made a couple of changes to the lineup. Unfortunately, the Boreham Wood match was postponed, so we're going to go for the next game that was on the schedule, which is a away match against Stalybridge, who at the time, prior to the Boreham Wood match being postponed, they were in 6th place, so they were the next team behind Boreham Wood, but I think they've now dropped down the league a little bit after a couple of matches were played. We've made 2 changes to the starting lineup. It's changes at the in the centre-back pairing, with Taylor Mackenzie playing alongside a new signing that we've made, Terrell Thomas, who comes in from Kettering. Had a pretty good spell with that club the last couple of seasons, averaging over a 7.0, or averaging 7.07 in the 2 seasons that he's played for Kettering. So I think that's a decent signing. The fact that looks like he's very well suited to this sort of level. He's a good player for most Vanarama North side, so that's perfect. And he's apparently on a similar star level to Shane Lovell, so that's perfect. Unfortunately, I don't want to play Shane Lovell today because I think he's struggling with a bit with match sharpness. But actually, I will put Shane Lovell in instead, and then I'm going to go for Taylor Mackenzie on the bench and see if that makes any sort of difference. Shane Lovell might struggle with the match conditioning along with William Gregory, but I think I'm going to go with that pairing because of the fact that we've then got a pretty good star rating in terms of the 2 centre back pairings. So fingers crossed, despite Terrell Thomas's lack of match sharpness, we can pull out a victory here today. In the second game of this episode. Genjo Osler is struggling with match sharpness. The fact that Steve Goddard is still injured. So that's again the only weakness I think our team has as we head into this match. Stalybridge apparently are favourites for this match, which is interesting. They're playing a 4-1-2-1, I guess, or 4-1-2-3. I'll have to see how that goes. We have to keep an eye on those 2 wingers. David Jones, is that the same David Jones that used to play for Wolves and Wigan? I don't know though. Joe Riley, is that a different Joe Riley to Manchester United's Joe Riley? 29 years of age. I used to play for Bolton. Okay, I do recall his name. I'm going to show those guys onto weaker foot, and I'm going to close down Mark Jobling, the striker. Let's see if there's anybody else that's. Oh, actually Denzel Bodu as well, because I think he was a key player in terms of their assists. So let's close him down, and let's get on with the team talk. I want to go for this and see what happens. Okay, that's not good. That one player has reacted stressfully, which is not good. Let's see if we can turn it around. Yes, we have, which is good. That's good. And let's get these strikers motivated. One of them is motivated, which is, well, it's the right one, James Difford. So let's get into the game. Game 2 of this episode. First double live comment we've done for a while. And the pitch is stupidly long for some reason. It's like Oxford City slash... I can't remember who was the team we played against. I think it was Northwich back a couple of seasons ago in the FA Cup, where their pitch was absolutely ridiculous in terms of dimensions. So I'm hoping this doesn't come back to bite us here. Okay, we've got a free kick for Stalybridge. It comes into the box. It's cleared away. I think the stats are getting away with what's happening here. Digging on this left-hand side, drills it in towards Jones, who puts it back into the box. Morton then takes a header's, I think, just wide off the post, and that's gone down as a clear-cut chance of Stalybridge. I'm going to move the match stats actually to the left-hand side. Oh, I don't know exactly where I can put them. It's really, really annoying. Put them here. Okay, another free kick for Stalybridge. This time they take it short. Back to Diggin. Here's Jones. Takes a shot. Takes it to deflection. And Grant is there for Stalybridge. Jordan Grant, his first goal of the season. And we're 1-0 down here. We have not started this game well. As you can see, based off the stats. We've had one shot in the entire game, whereas Stalybridge have had 10 shots, 4 on target, and they've just scored 1 goal already. Okay, here is the highlight. Morton with a ball out towards Diggin, who plays it into Jones, who he then drills it in, and Grant is there to smash it first time. Pretty good strike actually from a centre-back, and it is 1-0 Stalybridge. This is not a good start. We need to generate a reaction here. Okay, we've got a throw-in again. It's another highlight, I think, for Stalybridge. Lewis into Morton, who then... Oh, Lovell's managed to win it back, though. But Lovell's conceded a penalty out of that. Oh, I'm now regretting playing Lovell in this game after that's happened. And we are now probably going to be 2-0 down here, as number 7 for Stalybridge takes the penalty. I think it's... I can't remember what his name was. Diggin takes steps up. He scores into the bottom left corner, or left-hand side of the net. And it is 2-0. We're 2-0 down with just 1 minute to go before half-time. At least it means we can get into the dressing room and really tear into the team here, because I know Stalybridge are favourites, but come on now. We should be doing a lot better than this. We've been completely outclassed in this match, and it's just one of those... It reminds me of the Staines Town game that we had in the FA Cup, which you guys didn't see, but I was absolutely furious with the team. Look, as you can see there, all the defenders are having an absolute nightmare. 5.9 ratings for Gregory and Lovell, the two players that are struggling with match conditioning. So I think I've made a bit of a mistake to play those two players with regards to their conditioning. So we need to maybe make a change around that sort of the area, but I'm not going to change too much. Munga's not had a greatest of games. I might actually take him off and bring on Alex Simmons and then switch Difford and Simmons around, but I'll quickly go to the tactics page after we've done that. Anybody else I want to make a change? Probably, actually I'm going to leave it as that for now, just one change, and see if that's all generates anything. I'm actually going to go quickly to the tactics page as well, because if I pause it, just make sure Simmons is in the right spot. Yes, he is. That's right. Right, let's get back onto the pitch as we now kick off from right to left, or left to right this time. I think also the pitch has not helped us in terms of our style of play, so it's really, really annoying that that's going to be one of the causes, as we're now going to go on attacking with 40 minutes remaining. We've got another throw in though and looks like it's another highlight for Stalybridge, who plays it in towards Jobling, and it's 3-0 inside 51 minutes. The wrong thing I wanted to happen at the start of this second half, and now we are in an even bigger hole than what we were at the start of the second half, which is really doing my head in right now. This is I think this is the first time you guys I think you guys saw the loss against Salford City. I'm trying to remember if there's any other games that you saw afterwards that were any losses, but I think this is probably the first loss in a while that you guys are going to see. Gregory's and Lovell at fault again, so I don't know what to do really. All the defence has been rubbish, as you can see on the ratings, but Gregory's an absolutely pants. Callum Harris is going to come on for Alfie Davidson, I think. Might bring on Adrian Moore for some development time, as we've got another highlight, I think, for Stalybridge, who again, as I mentioned before, have completely outclassed us here. Ball up over the top towards Job, and he's now going to get on the end of that. He's going to score. No, actually, Schofield makes a save, and that is this results. The score stays at 3-0 as we now make our substitution. Okay, we're going to make our last substitution today. We're going to take off Sam Joel, and we're going to bring on Adrian Morford for 20 minutes to see if the youngster can provide any things going forward. and possibly try and get a consolation goal and stop the Stalybridge from having a clean sheet today, because it could go down to goal difference in the end in terms of the playoffs. So we've got to try and do the best we can out of this situation, which has been really, really poor. As you can see, Boreham Wood are winning their respective game against Darlington, are now level on points with us. So that means the tie we're going to play against them is going to be even more significant. As Difford plays that ball out towards May, out to Gregory, which might have our first highlight of the match here. As Gregory turns around, he gives it away to the centre back though. Kuyar's picked it up though in the midfield, and Harris up to May, who then loses out to Briley, and Stalybridge are able to clear away. And here's Thomas, who's not had a very good debut, and he's just giving it straight to the Stalybridge defence. And here's Stalybridge attack, and here's Morton on his left hand side. It's going to be another highlight for Stalybridge. Ball into the box, and it's an own goal, I think, of Thomas. The debut centre back has had an absolute nightmare in his first game, and that compounds the embarrassing result that we're going to have today. Thomas couldn't really do anything, to be honest. I mean, the Stalybridge, the players weren't really going to be there, so he should have really left that. But yeah, another bad thing. And again, Gregory is now getting even worse in terms of rating, and also as is Shane Lovell. So I don't really want to make anything else, as Simmons has a bad touch, and Stalybridge are on the attack again. Gregory now clears it away, and Lewis picks it up though for in the left back position for Stalybridge. Back to the goalkeeper George. We're actually going to move back the match stats, because I don't think we're actually going to score today, and I don't think it's necessary. Kuyar's missed out on a tackle, and Morton's again along this right hand side or left hand side, but he wastes an opportunity, and that has gone wide of the mark, and that's a goal kick for us. Right, we're entering into stoppage time. Here's our free kick. We didn't have a single highlight in the match, and we go down 4-0. Yeah, it was just as bad as the Staines Town game. So yeah, I am going to be absolutely furious with them today and see. Oh yes, you look motivated, but why weren't you motivated in the match? It's really frustrating. I thought the momentum we would have had from that FC Halifax game would have been good, but I think the fact that maybe I don't really have any excuses, to be honest. Maybe my team selection with regards to having the two players on the pitch that didn't have much in terms of match conditioning, having less than 90%. But also, I think the fact that I didn't get the option to put match tactics in, or what the focus should be for the particular match, mainly because we were focused on Boreham Wood. So that's really come back. That postponement for the Boreham Wood match has come back to haunt us as well. So I'm not going to make excuses though. We weren't good enough on the game, and I'm going to pull my hands up and say we were poor, and we need to have a reaction in the next match at home against Kettering, who I think have closed the gap on us. If we have a quick look at their results. No, they gained their points, but not as many as they could have done. So yeah, it's really important that we get back to. We have to win the Kettering game at home now. All right, apologies for that. We're gonna as a little treat, I think, for that horrendous defeat, we actually are gonna do the next live com is gonna be the home match against Boreham Wood, the rearranged match against Boreham Wood, as long as it doesn't get rearranged again, because that'll be quite frustrating. But whatever, hopefully it gets rearranged. If it does get rearranged again, it gets rearranged after the Boston United game, so it just gives me another match to play along this. Yeah, and maybe it shouldn't get moved because of the fact if we do get through in the FA Trophy third round. But I am going to do Boreham Wood, and then the plan is I'm going to go and try and do Gainsborough at home, because because I wanted to go up against Lujo's team just to see how well they're doing, etc. And then obviously we'll do the last game of the season, and then depending on what happens, we might actually depending on what happens in terms of the league season, if we're already guaranteed to be in the playoffs and we're locked in, I might just skip all the way to the playoffs. So that's the question if we do make the playoffs, though. After considering what happened in that game against Stalybridge, I'm not that confident at the moment. So we've got to really bounce back in these next two games, especially against Kettering at home, which is a big game in my opinion, and then away against Solihull Moors, who are 20th in the division. So we should, if we want to be in the playoffs, we need to win games like this away against Solihull Moors. Then we've got the break in the FA Trophy with the match against Bishop Stortford, and then we're at home against Boreham Wood. So really key games that are coming up that we need to be wins if we want to try and stay in that playoff race. Because as I mentioned before, we're now level on points with Boreham Wood, and the Neaton are now 3 points behind us. Yes, they've played a game more than us, but yeah, they can definitely come back as well. And also Kettering have a game in hand on us, so they will close the gap on us if we end up losing against them in the next match. So without further ado, that is the end of this think it's probably going to be quite a long episode, but I wanted to get a double live come on there just because of the fact that I wasn't able to record recently. But yeah, 2 games there. One was really successful result, but one very disappointing result. So video of 2 halves, if you pardon the pun. So despite the result today, the results in this second match, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all very soon though for the home match against Boreham Wood. So until then, see you later.